This is the Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris ahead of the blades for effortless shaving in one efficient stroke.
You okay?
Laptop issues.
I don't know.
I'm willing to play the part. Baker's out.
Yeah.
First back-to-back sessions of the year. Close? First back-to-back sessions of the year? All right.
You recovered?
Good. Yeah, good. Yeah, so yesterday we, spent the day in the bubble going through, at a slower pace here. All three phases of the game here: offense, defense, special teams. We got a lot of looks and a lot of reps here on getting ready for the Jets. Today we'll go out and hit it at a more regular practice tempo. So it'll be good to get out there and get that. Mac took full workload yesterday. I expect him to be fully available here for the game and ready to go. So that's really it for that. We got a couple other guys that were limited yesterday, and so we'll see where they are today and move forward with them. But that's and really what we need to do is have a good day out there today. Get ready for a good Jets team, a team that plays a little differently than some of the teams we played here the last couple of weeks. Very San Francisco based offensively and defensively. Going back to what we saw from the 49ers back in 20. And of course the coach Boyer, it's his seventh year with the Jets, so that's been very continuous on the kicking game, but the offensive and defensive systems, as we know, kind of came in from San Francisco last year, and obviously they've built on those and are having a lot of success with them this year. So that's what we need to see.
Bill, how important is it for you to be able to see Mac get a full workload in?
Yeah, he's ready to do that, so that's what he needs to prepare for the game, and that's what our offensive unit needs. Everybody working together, so we'll get that this week.
And is that what you needed to see yesterday when you told us either way?
Yeah, like that's a decision, so that's where we are now. Yeah.
In this situation, did you have to
If we
tell
had been
Mac?
at that point yesterday, I would have told you that yesterday, but when we were at that point, then we let you know that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, not at all. Just trying to be helpful.
Appreciate it.
Oh, don't mention it.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry to interrupt. In this situation, did you have to tell Mac he is the starter, or is it kind of understood since he did get the full workload?
Yeah, I talked to all the quarterbacks, so everybody knows where we're at.
So that's the plan for him to start Sunday?
That's what I just said. He's going to have a full load. Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know fully available. Just, I don't know. Sometimes you need to spell it out for me. When it comes to the plans moving forward, I mean, is he able to go through?
That's where we're at. Okay. So don't get me. I don't want to go through a lot of hypotheticals. That's not where we're at. We're getting ready for the Jets. That's where we're at. Period.
So you can't say for the
I can't give you're going to give me a bunch of hypothetical situations, and I don't know what those hypotheticals are. So we're not going to get into that.
So try not to ask hypothetical, but is it?
It's hypothetical. Like here we are today. We're practicing for the Jets. It's Thursday, getting ready for the Jets. That's where we are. So anything that happens beyond that, I mean, it's not current. Not going to get into it. As helpful as I can be. I mean, come on, man.
How important is it at that position to get the full workload in practice?
I think it's more important when you haven't played in a while. Let's put it that way. It's always important, but when you've been out for a while, then getting that timing and execution back is important for you and your teammates at any position.
Following up on that, is there a time period where he has to get back into the flow of things, kind of like a reacclimation period for him to have success on game day?
I don't know.
Bill, James Robinson with the Jets now, what challenges does that bring since you haven't seen him with the Jets offense? I mean, he's been in the league for a couple years and he's shown he can be a solid back.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, they used quite a bit of a two-back system there, you know, with Hall and Carter. So whether that'll be the case now with Robinson or not, I don't know. It's certainly something that we'll have to, you know, be ready for. Again, they didn't do it a lot, but they did it, you know, enough. And they had some successful plays out of it for sure. They had a couple of big explosive plays, you know, out of a one-back set with, well, we had both backs in the backfield or one back in the backfield and use the other back as a jet sweep, counters, passing game, plays like that. So, yeah, that's something that we prepared for. We saw with Hall and Carter, and now after years for Robinson too. So, yeah, obviously another good player that is going to, you know, be part of their skill group that we're going to have to be ready for.
What's been the Jets' biggest areas of growth from compared to last year?
Well, look, the biggest difference in their record in their season is the fourth quarter. You know, they outscored their opponents by 54 points in the fourth quarter. So it's a good place to start. They played well in most critical situations in the game, in all three phases of the game, and it's one of the reasons why they have a good record. You know, they're solid. They've improved in every area of the game, but that's, you know, to win games and outscore your opponents by that much in the fourth quarter. It's gonna get you on the, you know, in the winning column. That's what it's done.
Bill, how about the way they've protected the ball? A short time ago, Adrian Phillips was on a radio interview, and he said that he's seen growth in Josh Wilson. He's not freelancing as much, taking care of the ball quarterback this year as opposed to maybe early last year.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But again, in a lot of the games, close games, and playing from ahead, that always, you know, plays favorably into ball security and decision making and that kind of thing. So I think some of the stats last year were skewed with the coming from behind, trying to get back in the game, you know, pressing things, that type of thing. There's been a lot less of that this year, and part of that's because there's been less bad plays at the beginning of the game to get behind. But they play good defense. They don't give up a lot of points. They move the ball offensively. They have a lot of good skill players. They played well in the kicking game. You know, they punted well. Hardy and Eccles are, you know, two outstanding gunners. They've created a lot of strong field position there. You know, in exchanging punts. So, you know, Barrios is the top of the league in kickoff returns and near the top of the league in punt returns. So the overall field position differential in the kicking game has been favorable. So, you know, all those things play into good complementary football, and the quarterback's certainly a part of it, but all those things help him. He helps the other areas. Kicking game helps the defense. So,
Bill, is the decision to make Mac the quarterback for Sunday, is that fully related to Mac's health?
yeah, he's ready to play. He was ready to play last week, just didn't feel it was the full game. This week is a different situation. And that's it. We'll take it from there.
Okay. I guess was curious, did Bailey's play on
That's
Sunday
it.
have anything to do with?
No,
Okay.
that's it.
So it's
So
all
we'll
just.
take it from here.
Okay.
Take it from here. Don't keep trying to trap me into stuff down the future, because I can't. Like, today's today.
Yeah, I'm not trying to trap you, just, you know, I'm just wondering about the decision-making process, because, you know, Bailey played well for 2 games, and he played a lot the other night. So just curious if how he performed on Monday had anything to do with the decision.
Yeah, no, well, we started the game the way we wanted to start it last week, and we talked about the way it ended up. So this week's a different week, different situation. Not gonna be a quarterback.
Bill, trade deadline next week. Do you already have a pretty clear picture of what you'd like to accomplish by then?
Yeah, honestly, I haven't spent much time with that. our personnel department, macro really handles that, and Elliot. So if there's something that's relevant, then we'll talk about it. So I don't know, we'll see.
What has allowed C.J. Mosley to be so disruptive for so long?
He's a really good player. He's as good a linebacker as we faced in all areas. There's a lot of linebackers that don't have the coverage skill that he has, both man, zone. A lot of that's instincts and awareness. But he reads and diagnoses plays very quickly, screens, draws, misdirection plays, things like that. The degree of difficulty plays, he really plays those well. He's a good tackler. He runs well. He's got good playing strength and explosion. It's just a really smart football player. Controls their front, but he makes right decisions on almost every play. Runs, play actions, misdirections. Tempoing and leveraging on the ball, and again, he's a solid tackler, and doesn't. He gets the runner, gets the guy down. Sometimes behind the line of scrimmage, but when he can get there, he makes the play. But he's very, very good at diagnosing and being in the right spot, and he's a hard guy to. He's our guy to get out of position, and you got to be really careful throwing the ball around him, and you got to block him in the running game, or you're not going to go very far. So he's the guy we gotta control, and he's a really good player. As good as any middle linebacker we play against all year.
Bill,
Your final question?
I'd say they're the same players, but when you faced Seattle in the past, they had Wagner with San Francisco, Warner. Mostly they weren't a player like that in that system. Do you see comparable traits, comparable value to those players in terms of what Sal asked them to do?
Yeah, like I said, he's as good as anybody we play, just all the way across the board. He can blitz. He doesn't blitz a lot, but he can and he does, especially in some of their third down packages. He can cover. He's a very good zone coverage player. Reads patterns well, reads a quarterback well, does a good job in that. Can play man to man. Very good in the running game, very instinctive, good at taking on blockers, good tackler. Again, keeps a good tempo on the running back, so he doesn't overrun plays or take a poor angle and that type of thing. He's really good at all those things, and he obviously quarterbacks the front seven. It's a team that runs quite a bit of movement, line games, and that type of thing, and I'm sure those coordination and those calls are come from the middle linebacker. I don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming it does, and like it does in most teams, and so he's probably a big part of that too. But this kid's been a good player. Out of college at Baltimore, and then at the Jets. He missed the 1 year with the injury, but shows up, plays every week, plays every play, out there in all situations. No reason to take him off the field. He's a really good player. All right, great, thank you.